Hello. I have a question for you. Are you tired? Pause for comments. I'm going to wager a guess that the majority of us who are either watching this live or on replay would agree that yes, I'm feeling tired. I think that's a very common thing, a very common response that I hear from people when I say, "How are you?" "Oh, I'm tired." Or you get the common, "I'm good, things are fine," when really, in fact, they're not. And why do I bring this up? Well, first I'm going to adjust my screen. I like my Just Breathe to be right at the top. Plus then my face doesn't get cut off. Told you, I tell you all the time, beauty of live, right? And I'm adjusting. I'm sorry. Okay, all done. I will not adjust again. Why do I bring up these tired feelings and the blanket, "I'm okay" comments? Well, do our feelings dictate how we act? Yes. If you have been following me for any length of time, you know that we connect feelings and thoughts and actions all the time. That is part of what makes us human. Our thoughts and feelings drive our actions. So, in case you are new to the show, my name is Barb. I am the founder of BehaviorCorner.com. I also am the administrator for this amazing fan page and our fantastic closed group. So every Thursday, we join together here live, and we have a very important parenting topic every week. And within the group, I allow the group members to drive what our live event is going to be, because it's based specifically on their needs within that group. Do you see the shadow going on? Do you know that this is the first week that I have had it very dark outside? And here I am in my studio with the lighting the same as it's been for months. And here we are. It's so dark outside now that I now need to adjust my lighting. So I will keep that in mind for the next live video I do. I'm not going to get back up and play with technology again. I already did that on you tonight. So yes, we have all of these feelings. And yes, it drives the things that we do. That also includes patience. And that's why you're here tonight, right? You hopefully have seen that our topic for tonight is patient parenting, how you can become a more patient parent in 4 steps. There's 4 things, and you don't need all 4. Just pick one and give it a try. 4 ways to help us be more patient when we are parenting our children. But why are we spending some time doing this? Well, let's think for a minute. I'm going to ask a question. What happens when we yell? What happens when we cause a scene, heaven forbid? What happens when we demand our kids do something? Whatever your answers are, and please feel free to put that in the comments. What happens when you kind of flip out and lose your patience? I went to a conference recently, and they described anger and frustration and people who are out of patience. They describe them as flipping their lid. So what happens when you flip your lid? Nothing good. Nothing good. And really, when we flip our lid, what are we teaching our kids? I'll tell you what we're teaching them. We're teaching them that the negative responses that we're using, the yelling, the demanding, we're teaching them that's how we handle stress. They're growing up. They're looking to us as their role model, and we are teaching them every single day through our actions. So remember, you feel tired, your patience is running thin. It's the end of the day. Or maybe it's the beginning of the day and your kids are just having a tough behavior day and your patience are already gone. Now you're having negative thoughts and you are showing negative actions as you try to get control of this situation. But what is really happening here is that you're not getting a good outcome from your flipping your lid incident. And your kids are learning that that's the right way to handle it when they become out of patience. And that's how they're going to treat other people, because that's what they're seeing from you. Ouch. Now flip it. We want others to treat us the way we want to be treated, right? Like, hello, this is not new news. How many times in your life have you heard that phrase? So let's flip it. What will happen if we treat them, our kids, the way we want to be treated, even when they're out of patience or when another adult is out of patience? How do we want to be treated? And I want you to comment, because I know it's not all doom and gloom. And everyone I talk to isn't losing their patience and yelling and being a bad example for their kids. I know that. But I just think it's important to make the point as much as I can that us as parents are role models for our kids, because I think some of us forget that. When we're just going along in daily life, whether we're stressed or not, we have to remember that even when we think that they're not watching, they are. So keep that in mind. But I want to hear some success stories from you too. If you feel like you're losing your patience, what do you do? How do you handle that situation? I want to know about that. Okay. I also want to point out, in addition to being a role model for your kids, if we are not consistent in what we are saying and doing, I'm going to just hide this for a second. It's going to be confusing for them. So if we are preaching to them with our words, respect, 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 and this is what you do, even if you feel upset, and you use your words and you take a break and you talk about it in a respectful way, yet when we're upset or stressed, we do something else, it's going to be very confusing. Wait, I thought you told me we take a break and we take a breath. Why are you yelling? This is very confusing. I don't know what the right answer is. That's what goes on in their brain. So I encourage you to also be consistent with your words and your actions. If you want them to handle stress in a certain way and you want them to be patient, I encourage you to do those things yourself. It's your actions that speak much louder than words. I think we've heard that a few times in our life too. So let's get to it. We already know now what the negative response, the negative results are of those times when we aren't patient. And I'm going to tell you, I've been there. I've been that yeller. I've let my lack of patience get the best of me. I'm going to wager a bet that we all have at one point. It's okay. You're not a robot that can just push a button and say, today I'm going to have patience. You keep trying. You try again the next time. You try again tomorrow. We will fail sometimes. We will. Accept it and move on. Try not to make it a habit, but it's going to happen. If you are trying to get better in the future, meaning the next time that there is a situation where your patients are running thin, or you try to get better that next day as soon as you wake up, you are doing just fine. So here we go. Number 1. I have it on my wall for a reason, and we refer to it a lot. Just breathe. And you know what, guys? If you need to walk away from a situation to regain even just a shred of patience, do it. Walk away and breathe. And don't just breathe once. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a few seconds. Let it out. Do that a few times. You will legit feel your body calm. It will calm itself. And like I said, if you need to walk away from a situation, do that. If it's not an emergency situation where you have to act immediately, then you have time. You have time to take these breaths. You don't need to react right away. Take your breaths, get some patience, just breathe. Just breathe. That's number one. This isn't rocket science, guys. I know it works. Number two, our second way to help us become patient parents. Use empathy and really listen to what they're saying. Really listen. This is what I mean. So often I see and I hear adults that are quick to discount their kids' feelings and their thoughts. Yeah, I get it. Yep, I get it. No, really listen to them. Take your breath from step one and listen. Say to them, help me understand how you're feeling. Help me understand what you're thinking. And then what makes this so powerful is you reflect back to them what they said. Let me give you an example. I'm trying to think of a reflection too, so that I can cover all my bases with you while I do this. So here's the example. Your son or daughter came home from school and they didn't have their best friend to sit with at lunch. And for real, that's a big deal to a lot of kids. It may not be a big deal to us, like whatever, tomorrow's a new day, you probably sit with other people anyways, move on, right? But if we say that to them because we're impatient to get other things done, they don't feel listened to, they don't feel valued. They don't feel that they can come to you. So here it is. Help me understand what happened today. Help me understand how you're feeling right now. Help me understand how you felt when you realized your best friend wasn't going to be there to eat with you at lunch. Any of those questions would be great. Your child's going to answer, and you're going to reflect back what they said. You were really sad that you didn't have your friend to sit with today at lunch. Even if that's exactly what they said to you, say it back to them anyways. It might feel weird to you, but I'm going to tell you 100% your kiddo is going to feel that you truly heard them because you just repeated it back to them. It is nice if you could change it up a little bit. I could tell that you were really disappointed. You wished your friend would be in school today. It seems like you're really hoping that he'll be back tomorrow. Right? Give something back and stop what you're doing while you're really listening. When you're really listening, you're able to spit some of that back to them. You're able to show empathy because you're understanding and they see your desire to understand. So why? Because it helps your bonding. It helps your relationship. It helps with problem solving. And all those things come together to help with better behavior. Isn't that why we're here? You are with me because you want better behavior from your kids. It is no secret, you know, guys, that I believe that starts with you. And one way to do that is to be a more patient parent. Do your breathing, use your empathy, and really, really listen. Now you know how. Ask them for information, reframe it back to them. Right? All right. Here's number 3. Remember, they are still learning. They're still learning. Your kids are still growing up. You may have seen our picture that I posted to advertise our topic for this week. And it talked about how our kids are just beginning. Even if you have teenagers, they're still learning. Please do not expect them to have all of these emotional regulation and calming skills intact until they are, now this is going to sound crazy, but until they are in their mid-20s, guys. That's a good average age for me to tell you that it takes time for the human brain to develop and learn and practice. They still need you. And I really keep in mind that a flood of emotions can cause a stressful event in your child. And it could cause misbehavior, and it could cause your patience to go right down the drain. But try your best not to take it personally. Know that they're going through a difficult time. Know that they're struggling with those flood of emotions, and they may not yet know how to handle that. Emotions don't just come one at a time. If there is something going on and there's something bothering your child, I guarantee you there's more than one emotion attached to it. Last week on Monday in our closed group, we talked about anger and how in every single angry situation that I've dealt with a child, there are at least one other feeling that has caused that anger. I called it primary versus secondary emotions. The same is true if you are struggling with an event with your child. Try hard not to take it personally, because once you get down deep into figuring out what's going on, you're going to see it's not a personal attack against you. And if you want to figure out how to dig deep and find out what's causing this, head over to our group. Comment that you want the group link. I'll add it back in here. That's what Monday's thing was all about, anger and how to figure it out. All right, you let me know if you want that. Remember that young kids, they don't know how to handle strong emotions. They're just beginning, but you can teach them how. And you know what's even better than teaching them how? Showing them how. Oh my gosh, we're back to the beginning of our live event tonight when I'm telling you that your kids are watching you. You are their role models. Your actions and words, they need to match. Why? Because they're still learning. I didn't even plan to loop that together. It just happened. I love when that happens. Because it's true. It is true. So far, we have, I'm going to get rid of this. We have just breathe. We have use empathy and really listen to them. And we have they're still learning. You got to remember that. Those three things alone will help with patience. Here we are. Know your limits. This is, I'm just adjusting my screen here. This is number 4, guys. You have to know your limits. If you're truly losing it because your patience are gone, it's okay to call for help. It's okay to call in the reinforcements. Call your friend, call your mom, call your sister, call your neighbor, call your whatever. Call them. Whether it's just someone as a sounding board or you need someone to come over to help you with your kids, call them. It's okay. You have your limit. We all do. Your limit might be lower than mine. My limit might be lower than my neighbor's. We all have our personal limits. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to take a break, because sometimes it just becomes too much. Remember, we're not robots. You can't just push a button and say, here are my patients. So know your limits. Remember self-care. Plan for self-care. Plan for the next time that you may end up losing your patience. How do we do that? Well, usually in life, history repeats itself day after day. We go to work, we get up, we send the kids to school. It's the same thing day after day after day. I challenge you to think of your one thing. I know you have more than one. Just think of one thing, put it in the comments so I know. One thing that makes you lose your patience. For me, it's when my kids don't listen after the second request. I can tell you right now, I start losing my patience. What's your one thing? I want to know. I want to see what everyone's thinking. So then from there, I want you to make a plan. What's going to happen the next time my kids don't listen on the second request? I better have a plan for that, because I don't want to lose my patience. I don't want to turn into that person that's yelling. I don't want to turn into that poor example that we talked about. I want to take my deep breath and really listen. And I want to have a plan, because I do have limits that I need to remember. Beyond that, I have something called me time. I just had to think where I was going after planning. By the way, though, before I get to me time, if you would like to bounce some ideas off of me about plans, just put it in the comments. I will reach out to you confidential way, and we will go about that. I almost said confidentiality because I think I say that a gazillion times a day, so that's on the tip of my tongue. But I do respect everyone's confidence. When someone writes something to me, I don't ever put their name in here unless I have their permission. So if you reach out to me, know that I will discreetly reach back out to you, and it will not be posted publicly. So if you want to bounce any ideas off of me about patience or plans or really how to listen to your kids and feel even more connected, you got it. Just reach out, let me know, get in touch with me, okay? My email, maybe I'll put that in the description. That'd be really good, but here it is. It's Barb, B-A-R-B, at behaviorcorner.com. Super easy. So I have something here called Me Time. I have an article that I wrote, it's on my blog, all about me time. Me time makes me very excited. Me time is anything you do for yourself. And this is part of our step number 4 of know your limits and self-care. I challenge you 5 out of 7 nights a week. Do something for just you for at least a half an hour. An hour is even better. Watch TV. Play a mindless game on your phone. Maybe you want to be writing a book. Keep writing your book. Something for you. Take a bath. Take a walk. Do some scrapbooking. Anything for you. Ideally an hour a day, 5 out of 7 days a week. Why? Because it's going to help your overall patience with your kids. If you want to read the article, comment Me Time. It will be yours. I will send you the link. So here we go. Step 1, just breathe. Step 2, use empathy and really listen to your kids. Remember, they are still learning. And know your limits and self-care. It's okay to take a break or ask for help. It's okay. You can ask me for help. You know, I strive every week to bring you value, to help you in your parenting journal. It happens here. It happens in our group. Reach out to me via email, comments, messenger. I will be there with you on this journey. We all need support. I would be honored to be one of those support people in your life. So until next week, I wish you well. And I wish you patience. And I'm looking forward to your comments to hear what causes you to lose your patience, but also how you have handled it, because that's going to be encouraging too. All right, we are ending broadcast. I will see you soon.